Hey everyone. Not a good day. Not a good day. If you have been following along with, Kara notifications and you just care about that part of the story, it's not going to be the whole video. It's going to be the start of the video. If you're a journalist or something looking for facts and disambiguating rumors with a primary source, yeah, you're in the right place. If you are one of my many trans and LGBTQ loved ones, you can skip this video if you want. If you're not up for it, don't watch it. You can read it down below. I'll put like a text summary of this down in the doobly-doo. You can skim it, you can scan it, you can ask somebody else to read it. And you don't have to listen to things described. Kara's not hurt, but she's in danger. A lot of people are. So let's cover some facts right now, straight up. Again, these are not rumors. I am on the phone with Kara and her attorneys very regularly. This is confirmed. Donald Trump's America is already here. In the BOP, it is starting. They are rounding up trans inmates. They are taking them out of their normal housing units, and they're segregating them. Everyone believes this is the first in a series of very rapid steps, which of course strategically happen like late on Fridays and things like that to stymie any defense or motions in court. Everyone believes this is them being moved to male population, which may happen as early as Wednesday. But that part is a rumor. That is not confirmed, obviously, because Wednesday isn't here. And the BOP doesn't give anyone a heads up on what's actually happening. I'll tell you what is happening now. Kara has been moved inside of Carswell. Multiple trans women, in fact, I believe all the ones that we know of, have been moved from the female housing unit into, they're not in the male unit yet, they're in administrative segregation, which, an ADSEG is what we call the SHU. Nowadays, we just call it ADSEG. They're on a different unit. It was a special area that had been used for like COVID times, and it's essentially like, again, it's a specialized holding area that is like, it's used for suicide watch. So all their rooms have cameras in them, which is freaking creepy. They have fewer, roommates around them. She's only housed with one other person. Now the amenities and accommodations are not right for, again, Carswell. There's a reason all trans prisoners in the system, the women go to Carswell, right? It is a medical facility as much as it is a prison. They have the healthcare providers, they have the specialty, they have the accessibility needs for all kinds of health issues, not just someone who is trans, but like someone who is disabled, et cetera, which Kara also is. But the housing unit where she has been moved and everyone else that she knows has been moved does not have things like accessibility toilets, accessibility showers, so they don't have the ability to really like use the bathroom correctly. She does have her hospital bed, I've been told, and she has her wheelchair still. The phones are very limited. They don't have computer access. They can't use the law library. They can't complete FSA credits, et cetera, right now. Everything is just fucked up right now. So we're horrified. She's scared. Everyone's scared, inside and out. Why did I not send up a flare like the day it happened? I didn't have all the information yet. And again, that's going to be a theme in this video. I encourage all of you to only share and spread news that you know is factual. If you're cutting out clips of this video or quoting from it, please do so in a way that conveys what we know versus what we only think we know. There's a difference, and I'll always call that out. And I also want to cover some myths, starting with myth number one, that the BOP had for a long time been like designating trans women arbitrarily. That's false. That is an absolute fabrication. There's a whole Transgender Offender Manual, which I don't like that I live in America where that's a term. Like that is a thing that exists or existed. Because again, initial reports are that the new Trump administration literally has disbanded the Transgender Executive Council inside of BOP. Like much like they're slashing, DEI because they, it literally just means caring about other people. But yes, like everything is in upheaval right now inside of BOP. So the old policies though that existed, you had to actually be like, it was incredibly hard to be coded correctly in the system, to be marked as a woman. Like you had to be, in most cases, like passing or whatever. You had to be on hormones. You had to be, had to have your paperwork. That's a huge one. That was a huge one that helped Kara, as you may remember. Like we have her birth certificate, we have all of her paperwork. Like that, it's a huge hill to climb to be properly designated as female before now. So yeah, it wasn't arbitrary. All the women who had been in the correct unit before, like they had their birth certificates, their driver's license, their passports, everything. Kara had all of her life paperwork and has for all of her adult years properly designated her as female. Myth number two, this is only happening to the people who haven't completed their transition. Okay, well, first of all, it doesn't matter how visibly distinct someone is or if they pass or something. That's not how you treat people in society. But even so, look at this. Are you telling me this is a person who belongs in the male unit of a prison? Like, with a straight face, you're gonna say that that's the right idea, that's the plan there? You know exactly what happens. You know. I'm not going to get into, like, I've used the term V-coding before, and someone said, what's V-coding? I'm not going to describe it. Like, I'll drop a link below if you don't know how search engines work. Fine, learn about V-coding. You can read about daily intentional rape and sexual assault. That is the purpose of putting trans women in with male population. We're not going to get into it. And transitioning isn't something you complete in the same way in all cases. Some people feel, like, okay, I'm there, I have transitioned, and other people say, no, I want this surgery or that surgery, then I'll be done. It doesn't matter, though. Well, first of all, I'm not getting specific here about Kara's case. I, in the past, never have, and I don't really plan to tell any of you about the specific genital configuration of any of my friends, partners, loved ones, etc. But the reason it doesn't matter, I'm not telling you about Kara specifically, is because the BOP is not making a distinction. This is myth number 2. That, oh, they're only taking, people who didn't blah, blah. No, there are people who have had top surgery, bottom surgery, been on hormones for their whole life. Yes, people who have completed to the cis blessing kind of way, all their surgeries and ticked all the boxes, they are being rounded up too. They have been moved to the new unit. Myth number 3, no one should be surprised by this. This was coming, we all knew this was coming. Actually, no. In spite of it being a federal corrections environment, and therefore an awful place and in need of being abolished, FMC Carswell was actually better than some places in the system. Like, again, it was set up with professionals who have a passing understanding of all kinds of healthcare issues and have training and understand trans issues. Like, there were people there who were trying to be kind and helpful on the staff. There were reports of people trying to get some of these women, like, rotated out into other programs, other systems that said, oh, how many credits, how much good time, maybe we can get you recalculated in a halfway house, who knows. They were being told that. They weren't being told, hey, in fact, when they were taken, in Kara's case, they just came up to her. I don't know if she was in the yard or something, but they said, hey, you have to report to the chapel. And she's like, why? It's not my day to be down. They said, no, it's one of your psych evaluation program things. It's psychological care services. We need you to report to the chapel. And she went down there and was just taken right then to the new place. Didn't get to say goodbye to her bunkies, didn't get to say bye to any of her friends, just taken like that. And that's how it's gone apparently for many people. They just whisk them away to a different floor. Myth number 4, these women are being moved for their own protection. This is false, because they were safe and they were protected where they were. They had friends, they had social circles, they had access to their resources, they had support structures, not to mention amenities and resources they needed for their healthcare management, which they do not have now. Again, they have been moved to a unit that it's ADSEG. Like, it is a suicide watch floor. The rooms are small, they're cramped, they're being observed all the time in creepy ways. They don't have access to all their usual amenities, and as I mentioned, they lost access to all their FSA programs and other things that they were trying to complete. So, like, all that's screwed up now. They were safe where they were. Moving them out of their support structure only causes anxiety, pain, and lack of sleep. Moving them somewhere worse, we all know what that's going to cause. Don't you dare, any one of you, repeat the lie that, oh, this is for their protection. And finally, myth number 5. All hope is lost, and there's nothing we can do about this. Not true. Again, I learned about this a couple days ago. I just kind of didn't tell you anything because I wanted to get my head around it and get some facts straight and make sure I was reporting to you good information. But also, I needed to take care of myself for a day, right? On the inside, people are advocating for themselves furiously, which is something you can do, by the way. If you have loved ones on the inside, right, have all the paperwork. Get them all their paperwork. Get copies, birth certificates, passports, every document you have that shows correct gender markers. And when you send it, like, does their lawyer's office have them? Do you send it the right way? We tripped up on this. Again, BOP keeps changing their rules. I'd sent color copies, right? And then the color copies of things that I send to Kara get rejected because, well, these are photographs and they're not on photo paper. That's incorrect. You sent it the wrong way. And that used to not be the rule. You used to not be allowed to send any specialty papers at all. But they want color things on photo. So now we send everything in black and white on regular paper, and then we send photos as color. Like, we double send shit. So get paperwork to your people inside. Tell them not to lose hope. Tell them to self-advocate. You have to be strong. You have to self-advocate inside the corrections environment. Inside, people are all approaching this their own ways. Externally, I'm not at liberty to discuss the details, but like, people are on it. High impact, very high visibility litigation organizations and advocacy groups that you all know. They're already on it. The lawyers have been working the weekend. People have been at their desks and at their phones. You can expect injunctions, you can expect lawsuits. There's already strategizing, there's already people pushing back. Now, while these facts apply to everyone caught up in this more broadly, Kara's case is actually unique because, remember, those first scary, like almost week or so when she was at the MDC in Brooklyn, she was classified incorrectly. She was in the male unit. I've talked about this in her story before. We had to go through agony and hearings, but eventually a judge, a federal fucking judge, issued a directive to the BOP saying, this is clearly wrong. Like, she is female. Everything says she's female. She's lived female her whole life. What are you doing? And there's a judge's order. There's a standing order from a district court saying house her in the female unit. So right now, by not doing that, the BOP is in violation of a federal judge's order. They can be held in contempt. Not everyone's case is like that. Not everyone has had the case history that Kara has. But that's an angle that we can talk about later. Of course, everyone in general being moved out of the correct unit violates the Eighth Amendment to the Constitution in all of their cases because it is cruel and unusual punishment. It is intentionally subjecting them to harm and risk of assault and injury and worse every day. And they know it. The BOP knows it. That's why these policies have existed for decades under all administrations of all different political parties. So what can you personally do? What can you do? I'm not here asking for money. One day, who knows, maybe there'll be a crowd justice campaign or something if we need her or other law funds funded, but I'm not doing that to you right now. Like, you guys keep asking and I keep telling you the same thing. Money goes in the direction it's most needed, and we got this at the moment. I'm keeping her commissary full, etc. God knows when she'll get to spend it. There's no amenities where she is. But what you can do is, if you're outraged, spread news of this and spread facts. Try to cite specific facts. Don't spread rumors if you don't have something confirmed or if I didn't explicitly confirm something. You can reach out to me on social media. Like, there's a chance that I'm going to be kind of preoccupied with a lot of stuff lately, and maybe I'll get back to you, but I'll try to put out the best information I can. I'm not linking counsel's information right now. Like, if you're a journalist or something and you're writing a story, like, in previous videos, I've showed you Kara's BOP number. Her case is a matter of public record. Her attorneys are a matter of public record. You can find them. But I'm not putting their law office contacts like right in the doobly-doo. They got some shit on their plate right now. If they tell me they don't mind, like, maybe I'll add it. I'll edit the description later. But yeah, you can talk about this and refuse to let this story not be covered. Lastly, what am I personally going to do? Some of you may be wondering. Well, now we're at the point of the video where if you were just here to see what Kara was up to or to get facts on this news story, you can tune out. Regular viewers care about my day, you can listen in. Like Marge Simpson in the old Simpsons episode where there was threat of like great violence around her, she said, we're going to wake up and we're going to make pretzels.
So what are we going to do?
We're going to do what we do every day. We're going to make pretzels.
I'm going to do what I do. And this is hard to talk about. I had a really hard time coping with these last 48 hours. In addition to like talking with Tara and Emily and others in my life, not the least of which was a very lovely mental health professional who I'm very grateful for. I'm going to continue doing the things that make me me. Part of those things involve caring for Kara and all my loved ones, and I'm going to keep doing that. But like, I love Emma Goldman. Many of you probably do, right? You know about her, the revolution shall have dancing, right? If there's not dancing in your revolution, I'm not coming, she said. Yeah, a revolution without dancing is one I don't want to be a part of either. And it's not just because of how I want to feel, it's because of how we all need to feel. We have to keep doing what makes us us. Like, I shot videos that I have in my queue about tools and things. I was at SHOT Show. You're going to see loads of content from there recently. I wasn't focusing as much on gun stuff, just other interesting things. There's some good ones and bad things I saw and some fun times with friends. But like, you're going to see those videos. I have a Red Team Alliance training coming up in a week. I'll be in Virginia. Still have seats available. Link below, covert methods of entry. I'll put a discount code down in the description. 10% off, which is an insane discount, frankly. I'm going to check with Bobak first, but if I can, well, it's valid for the next week if you can get yourself to Virginia. I have like tools and stuff. I have new equipment that I'm building every day for the website I don't mention. Still got that in the works with my design team, my engineers. I have a very scared trans daughter. I have her call, like we have our dad-daughter call where we just talk and play board games remotely, and we keep that up. You got to keep that up. You have to keep being there for friends and loved ones. A lot of your friends and loved ones are either buying plane tickets or bullets or both right now, and they need you. They need you to show up for them. But you can't show up for your loved ones, and I can't show up for my loved ones if I fail to show up for myself. That goes for all of you. Secure your own oxygen mask before assisting others around you, right? We need you healthy. We need you to still find happiness day to day and not just be balled up in a little depression corner. Authoritarians thrive on that. That is why all this is happening. That's horrendously awful. Like, they don't actually hate queer people, trans people, Jews, minorities, blacks, etc. They just see them as like, well, that's the punching bag of the week, and we'll do that. We'll hurt them. They'll be disorganized. People will panic and flee. My friend Margaret wrote about the rout that would happen on medieval battlefields and how the rout was most devastating because the lines collapsed and people, fell back and panicked and ran around and got slaughtered by cavalry. They are trying to rout us. And if you stay steady, if you make your shields as one, you make your improved trench, you fight back. You can't do that if you're a jittering, panicking mess. Make no mistake, during times like these, the practice of joy as a radical act is essential. It is one of the most important things ever when fighting fascism and authoritarianism. They rely on our fear and our depression to weaken us. Go to your loved ones and do happy things even while you're fighting. Do the things that make you you every day. Dear God, please eat healthy meals right now. I don't know if it violates the canons of ethics, but I'm going to be sending some Grubhub gift cards to some attorneys who've been pulling 60-hour weekends. Get sleep if you can. Sleep with each other. Dance with each other. Spend time with each other. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be fear. There's going to be anger and defeat and sadness. But there's also going to be victory. All the people who reported, like, oh man, this Trump 47 is going to be way worse because now he has all that experience from his first term and he's coming in hot and he knows all the tricks, and yeah, it sucks. So do we. We have experience. All the major orgs and the people down at the local level, they learned under Trump 45. They learned under COVID. They learned under the George Floyd summer. They learned, all of us learned, how to show up for one another, to organize and be there, and to fight. We are coming into this more prepared too. Again, I'm not one to always make martial analogies and stuff, but like if you're in a trench, like if you're a machine gun squad prosecuting targets, what you need is like an A gunner next to you humping ammo or moving the pintle mount. What you don't need is a person next to you in the trench who, like, I don't know, didn't get enough sleep and hasn't been eating their rations and they can't like move under their own power. So instead of, falling to the next position and supporting like the fire team, now you're like dragging this person by the freaking molly gear. You want to be the one in the trench fighting along with your friends and loved ones. Show up for yourself so you can show up for them. And a lot of you right now, you know exactly who I'm talking to right now. Stick around. Stay with us. We are with you. We got you, whether you're on the inside or the outside. Stay with us. It's very important. Stay tuned in. Check on each other. Check on news and updates here if you want. I'll answer what I can. I love you all very much. You can expect videos from SHOT Show and stuff, as surreal as that fucking is, later this week or early next week. You can expect a lot more from me, and I expect a lot from all of us too. I love you very much. It'll be okay. We got this. Stay safe out there.